You have no idea, do you? Or did you choose not to know? Your husband stole $2 million from me. This is about my life. This is about my life. And because it's about my life, it now becomes about yours.
TV. It's always an honor to sit across from you. I mean, you're one of the filmmakers that inspires me just to keep on digging deeper in these movies, because you have so many visual layers to your movie that I always feel like I have to really dig in and really try to understand the images that you're putting on the screen. I feel like you don't waste images on the screen. I wonder, where did you first get the bug to want to create films? What inspired that journey?
Well, I started like most kids do with a crayon and a piece of paper. But for me, it just sort of, there was an evolution from the crayon to the paintbrush, because I used to paint, to a movie camera. That's what happened. There was this sort of evolution, always dealing with, the perspective, always dealing with sort of a form. And that was it, really. It was that passion. And then I got into sort of watching films and, seeing how people sort of lived in, North America, in Korea, in France, wherever, and it was inspiring. It was just one of those things where I imagine if you're a sports person, you're interested in basketball, all you ever think about is basketball. All you ever want to do is play basketball. Well, for me, it was film.
Mm-hmm. I noticed in some of your past films that you and Michael Fassbender had this connection to your films, mm-hmm. And I'm wondering, was the anchor in this film Liam or was it Viola, or do you do that with each actor that's in your on
No,
your
I think this one is different. But I think the anchor, if you want to say an anchor or the force, but is Viola Davis, of course, mm-hmm. and the three other women. Viola she's the gravitas. She is the thing which she drives the whole thing forward, mm-hmm. And it's those kind of actors, as well as sort of Cynthia Erivo, Elizabeth Becky, and Michelle Rodriguez, who you want to work with, because they inspire me to sort of, hopefully be a better filmmaker, and hopefully I inspire them to be a better actor.
Yeah. Do you try to hit different genres in your films? Is it a goal to I'm gonna do this thriller heist, I'm gonna do this historical narrative, I'm gonna do you have
No, what inspires me is stories. Again, this story, I was 13 years old when I sort of saw Widows for the first time on TV, and it was one of those situations where I was inspired by these four women who were deemed not to be capable, only being judged by their parents. And I was similarly judged at that time as a 13-year-old black man, and obviously judged by my parents in a very different way. But I had this affinity, I had this sort of connection with them. Yeah. And that's what makes me want to tell this story. And again, I think it's all about the story, not necessarily genre. I'm not interested in that, I'm interested in story.
Our go date is in 3 days, the night of the debate. Now, all of our work is worth nothing if we don't move this money, and fast. The notebook says $5 million. That's exactly the amount of money Mulligan was accused of taking in commission kickbacks. So over here we have $2 million, 20 Tupperware boxes, each box has $100,000 in $100 bills. It weighs 44 pounds. Now over here we have $2 million, 40 Tupperware boxes, each box has $50,000 in $50 bills. It weighs 88 pounds.
I feel like I'm in school. Tell me about it.
We gotta start thinking like professionals. We're in business together. There's not gonna be some cozy reunion. After this job, we're done. We have 3 days to look and move like a team of men. The best thing we have going for us is being who we are.
Why?
Because no one thinks we have the balls to pull this off.
Every award season they have, these interviews with the directors, and I remember a few years ago when you had this THR interview and this round table, and you spoke very bluntly about directors not being inclusive and not showing a reality in their film with
7 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, it stood out vividly to me because I felt like I just needed that to be said.
Well, that conversation wasn't really. I mean, maybe it was taking place, but not in such a public space, I suppose. And maybe I put people on the spot, and I didn't mean to do so, but someone asked me a question, I had to answer it. And things have changed. I mean, again, you know, when 12 Years a Slave came out, I mean, the landscape has changed since then. We got Selma, and then you get sort of Moonlight and so forth and whatnot. I mean, I think with 12 Years, what happened is that they made money.
Yeah.
And I know those other two films would not have gotten made if it hadn't made for 12 years, because the producers were the same. They told me, because 12 Years made money, we can make those other two movies, because Hollywood thought, okay, we can make money, and that's fine. I have no problem with that.
Right.
Everyone wants to be successful financially in what they do, and great. But that was the reality. Things changed because someone took a chance on 12 Years a Slave, and that was it.
And lastly, how much does being a father and a family man go into your narratives for your film? Do you think it bleeds into your stories and your scripts at all?
Absolutely. I mean, to be a father, to be a partner, all of those things. I mean, there's all those things come out in the movie, your life, and I think there's two things that matter to me the most in my life, is love and justice. The only two things worth living for, the only two things worth dying for, and I wanted to put that into this movie. And I think also what I was trying to do with, making this picture, this genre picture, but also steeping that genre, steeping that fiction into the reality of a contemporary Chicago. It's very important, I think, in some ways, to sort of, to have an idea of how we live and the environment we're in right now, and how we navigate our way through that environment. I mean, sometimes, sometimes we just don't think that we can actually do anything about our surroundings. We feel paralyzed, but it's like it's raining. But for me, at least, you could change the color of your raincoat.
Yeah.
That little option, that little sort of intervention is enough.
Yeah. Thank you very much for your time, sir.